Did you find that a little bit disorientating? Chaos today is the order of the day. And what I want to talk about today is how we learn to embrace it rather than fight it. How we learn to thrive within it. But first I want to start with a story. And it's about a utility company that issues hunting licenses on its land. And one day it's approached by an animal rights group who ask it to stop issuing hunting licenses. And here's the response. The response is, well, honestly, we don't have a view on hunting, and we don't particularly want to have a view. If we had a church but not a mosque on our land, would we then have to take a view on God? Well, that response was reasonable once, but not in today's world. It is almost certain that at some stage the animal rights group will start organizing protests on the company's land. The social media and the blogosphere will be full of it. Images like this will start appearing everywhere, and the company will be painted as an evil-hearted corporation. It'll take up a lot of management time, it'll cost the company money. So what if instead they decide not to start issuing hunting licenses on their land? Then they'll be staring down a barrel of a totally different sort. The hunting groups will have different tactics, but will be just as disruptive. In other words, chaos will rule again. Why is this sort of thing happening? We know it's happening. We see it all around us every day. Only last week, British Prime Minister David Cameron said that being Prime Minister is like standing in a field of asteroids, where you have things thrown at you every moment and you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what's about to hit you next. So we know that this is happening. It's all around us. The 21st century will be, when people look back on it, will be seen as an age of great transformation. It's the end of the old Enlightenment thinking. The thinking that put logic and rationality as almost gods, where emotion was somehow irrational, where we believed in authority and we believed in the power of institutions. No longer. Our belief in institutions, our belief in authority is vaporizing, and nothing has vanished more than respect for business. These days, we understand that we are mainly emotional creatures. The information age has created an empowered society. We feel that if we don't like something, we can quickly organize and we can quickly fight against it. We have no loyalty to anything else except our own values. Hence, we have the Arab Spring. Hence, we have things like Edward Snowden and the chaos. Hence, we have progress, in fact, through chaos. Here I'd like to introduce the concept of cultural leadership. What is it? It's a way of thinking. It's an approach. It's a way of thinking that puts contemporary culture at the center of our thinking. And contemporary culture as it is, rather than as some CEO or some government leader would like it to be. Unpredictable rather than foreseeable. Opaque rather than transparent. Empowered, not subservient. Uncontrollable rather than manageable. Chaotic rather than orderly. Contemporary culture goes beyond the nice linear thinking that is so common within corporations and institutions. It doesn't abandon it, but it goes beyond it. It envelops all these things in higher order thinking. Issues like purpose, community, values, social structures. Facts are no longer so important. They become only perspectives and interpretations. And it is these ephemeral, hard to understand, difficult, chaotic things that, unless we embrace them, become the creators of chaos. McDonald's. Why do I have McDonald's? McDonald's is the corporation that all elitist snobs love to hate. But about decades ago, they were ahead of their time. They addressed the issue of waste well before recycling and eco-packaging became so common that nobody believes it anymore. They took on animal welfare well before it became an issue. McDonald's were ahead of the curve. They took a stance. They grabbed things by the neck before they became an issue. Compare that to our hunting company, our utility company, and its hunting thing. They don't want to take a stance. They're saying, leave us alone. Just let us get on with our business. In today's world, that simply doesn't work. They have to take a stance. As far as hunting is concerned, they have to decide. Are they for it? Are they against it? They have to take a principled stance based on their ethical, moral, and principled beliefs. And if indeed they found a mosque and not a church, or a church and not a mosque on their land, they would indeed have to take a view on God, or at least on churches. So cultural leadership is not about having a CSR department or setting up a foundation or doing a bit of charity. That's just tokenism. Cultural leadership is about having a set of skills that allows us to function in this chaotic contemporary world. And we can build those skills. And every organization that you work for has to have these skills, because otherwise it cannot thrive in what is an increasingly complex, not understandable, chaotic world. And it's not just about organizations, it's about each one of us. We also have to thrive in this world. We also have to understand contemporary culture and thrive within it. So getting back to David Cameron and his field of asteroids, no organization can just stand there and wait until all this comes to hit them and hope they can dodge every time that it comes at them. They have to take the initiative. Cultural leadership is about not waiting to dodge all this, but rather to take the initiative, to grab it by the neck and to thrive within the chaos that we live in. Otherwise, it'll just blow your mind. Thank you for your attention.